Okay, let's take a look at viewing code. And I'm going to drop a component on here. I'll double click on button. And don't worry overly about that at this point. There's a separate video on how to work with the different controls here. Now if I want to program behind button 1. If I double click that, it'll come up here and it'll create these items right here. Public class form 1, private sub button 1 click, all these different items. You do not need to worry about this overly. When you're first learning Visual Basic, you just program, you think of the button and you think of whatever it says right here, click. That's the most common action you want to do with a button, is to click it. Now you got tabs up here. This says form1.vb and this one says form1.vb design. If I click back to design, I'm back to here. If I want to go to the code, I can go to here. Now if you have this closed, this code, then if you double click the button again, it'll take you back to the same location for your code. And you're wondering, well, to create brand new code, this is the code. Okay, that's a comment. Don't worry about that at this point. Okay, if I come back to here, now if I double click that, see, it doesn't bring up a brand new code, it brings up the existing code. So even if I have this closed, if I click the X on it, if I double click that, it'll bring up the existing code. That's useful, but sometimes the code gets closed. And again, go back and forth, you just click the appropriate tab. Now I got a button here, and over here in the properties window, and if you don't have the properties, you can choose your view and properties window here. But I'll have this button clicked. Now again, you click it once. If you click it twice, it takes you back to the code. So you just click the button one time. And over in the properties window, you got a little lightning bolt that says events. If I click that, then you see here's the button one click that we just put in. These are all the different action items that you can program. Auto size, back color changed, auto size changed, drag drop, drag enter, drag leave, key press, key up, layout, mouse click, mouse down, mouse enter. This is like a mouse down would be like if you click your mouse button and hold it down, and then when you lit it up, that's a mouse up. Lots of different actions you can program. Let's say I want to for the mouse down. Over here, if I want to program this, I could double click the blank space over here, and it'll create a default code, and all I have to do then is put my code here in the middle. This is the code for mouse down. You'll find for the standard Visual Basic beginning programming class, you will not sit here and worry about what do all these mean. It'll drive you crazy if you try to learn all of this at once. We just start out the basics and we focus on very specific items. For example, on a button, for the most part, all I've really ever programmed is the first one here, this click. Now, it puts all of this code in here. You do not want to mess with it. Like, you don't want to delete the in sub here, because then all of a sudden you broke it. And it expects that if there's a beginning sub, that there's going to be an ending sub. Now, you could type it in, but again, the basic rule is don't mess with the code that Visual Studio puts there. Just know where you need to put your code in at.